I'm going to be whispering in this video because it's too early in the morning and my family members are still sleeping. I'm going to tell you a story. When I was a cadet, when I was a senior cadet, one of my mentors, he was a great officer, and one of the things that he told us, and it always stuck in my head, was that if you see something that's not to standard, if you see something that's wrong and you don't do anything about it, that has become your standard, and that always stuck in my head. He was a normal officer. He didn't have a twisted sense of humor, just like the rest of us Norwich cadets. That's probably because he graduated from West Point, but I never used that against him. But nevertheless, I really like the guy. Captain Seberg, so this is for you. Good morning and welcome to another episode of The Sovereign Goatman, unedited, uncut, and straight from the heart. In this episode of Goatman Fireside Chat, we're going to talk about standard and setting high expectations. I'm going to show you something. This is a curve. This is the average. It's a bell curve. On this side, this is what's called, and it's not my term, it's really an industry term. They're called losers on this side of the bell curve, the low performers, and you have the average, and then on this side you have the performers. See that? Losers, then you got the average, center of the bell curve, and then the performers. I'll put it right here. I don't want to get it too close to the wood heater here because it's gonna melt. It feels good, by the way. Hopefully it'll heat up the house before my family wakes up. So I'm gonna share with you two stories, and they happened recently. I have a new job, as you know, and not too long ago I had a meeting with the production leadership about a project that I'm working on. There's a new technology that we're implementing. It's basically a laser welder, and it's gonna save us a lot of time. It's gonna save us a lot of labor. So the two production workers that I picked, they're the best welders in the company. So we provided training and we provided a transition plan on how we're gonna go from the old type welder to this new one. And I reported this to the production leadership, and one of the supervisors, instead of feeling, hey, thank you for working on this so that we could reduce labor, the first reaction that he gave me was, well, you picked the two best welders. You have to be careful, because when you set the standard, don't forget that there are other welders that are below those two top welders. And to me, that was a bad attitude, if I'm being honest. That was a bad mentality, because what the supervisor was saying was that he was okay with mediocrity. I'm not saying all the welders who have in the company are mediocre. They're all good people. They're all good workers. But what he was saying was that there are people that are over here on this side, or even on average, and I get that. But with that mentality, he's basically saying that mediocrity is okay, and to me, it's never okay. So that's one story. The second story, I've been coaching Olympic lifters for a while, for many years now, and two of them are brothers actually, and they're very, very good wrestlers. That's their main sport. They're competitive wrestlers, and their coach, their wrestling coach, they have these boys compete against other wrestlers that are sometimes older and above a weight class than these boys. And of course, you know, if you have somebody that's older and more experienced and stronger, you're gonna lose a match. But the beautiful thing with these boys, as young as they are, is that they understand the standard. They understand that that the coach is doing it not because because the coach wants these boys to lose. It's because they want these boys to understand that there's a certain standard that you must hit, and you have to work hard for it in order to achieve that standard. So as young as they are, and I've talked to them about this, and they said, yeah, I understand. It's okay that I lose because I know it's just gonna make me a better wrestler. So that's the right attitude. That alone is the attitude of performers. Even though if they're losing matches, they know that they're forward thinkers. They understand that by competing in this area, it's just gonna make them better. So this is where I am. This is where we are as a nation. We are in a screwed up situation because Americans are so focused on being average, on being mediocre, on catering to the losers, that sometimes we forget that there are performers out there. They should be setting the standard. These are not the standard setters. These guys are. Do you understand? So I think this is an appropriate topic, considering it's the end of the year, December 31st, Happy New Year to all. It's an appropriate topic because as we enter the new year, I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to set new resolutions, and whatever those resolutions are, good luck with that. May you achieve them. But we have to have high standards. Two things. Especially for those of us who are Christians, if we are content with being average, if we are content in being on this side of the bell curve, we dishonor God. That's right, we dishonor God because we're not using our God-given gifts to our full potential to serve others. And even if you're not a Christian, if you focus on this, you dishonor yourself because you're not using your gifts to their full potential. It's a concept of being all you can be. Don't be a loser. Don't be a loser. Whatever our gifts are, we're capable of performing at high levels. I don't have a lot of gifts. When it comes to music, dancing, playing musical instrument, I'm probably on this side because I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't play musical instrument, but I do have other gifts that I use, and whenever I use those gifts, I always focus on this. And I teach my kids the same thing. I teach my athletes the same thing, and I'm trying to influence my engineers to do the same thing. But as a nation, man, we're just too focused on this, and that's unacceptable. This country was not founded on mediocrity. We were founded on meritocracy. Those who were courageous enough to be all they can be, they're the ones that made a positive difference in our country, not the losers. When you look at public schools, for example, we pay taxes, but they spend so much money on the dumbass kids, catering to dumbasses, and they forget the talented kids. They forget the talented kids are the ones that will make a difference in this world. So it's all this nonsense, this feel-good bullshit that we're so infatuated with. We need to do away with that. So I'm hoping that this message resonates with some of you. And with that, I wish everyone a Happy New Year. And I am the Sovereign Goat Man.